Hello, this is Pete the Tech Guy, and it's been a while since I've done a video. And it's been a long time since I've gone to Pintastic and done videos. In fact, last year, when I had stopped doing reporting as a business and as a living, I made it a point not to bring my camera to Pintastic. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy myself playing pinball. And frankly, it felt a little odd not to be uploading videos, not to be interviewing, because I would see something and see an interview, boy, I should have done that. And obviously I didn't. So this year I'm going to be bringing my camera, and that's in Pintastic's in a couple of months, around the time that the place where I work is going to be closing, unfortunately. But I did want to do this video first to tell you about a pinball machine I bought. I finally broke down and bought a pinball machine for myself. Now, I had owned a pinball machine prior to this. In 1982, believe it or not, I won a pinball machine from a local arcade that wanted to get rid of it. They put it out, high school got to keep it, so I would go there after classes at my college every day and play it, and I ended up winning it. It was a Silver Ball Mania. And that machine is now in my son's cellar, along with his very excellent Oktoberfest machine, which we might do a video about sometime. But I want to talk to you today about 8-Ball Deluxe, which was one of the great machines of my youth. Now, let me first tell you about buying this machine. Now, this machine, if you look on Pinside, which is the information place for machines, is a very popular machine. They made an awful lot of them. They made 3 types. 2 of them had a larger head over here, a much bigger head, with this picture taking up most of it. But they made this edition because of another machine that had not sold well, and so they had extra tables. So because 8-Ball Deluxe was popular, they made an 8-Ball Deluxe Special Edition with this other cabinet. So this is the least expensive of the 8-Ball Deluxes out there. Now, the person who was selling it wanted $2,500, and he ended up going for $2,000. Now, this particular machine, when I bought it, had a couple of faults, one of which is still in place. The 4th player LED is not working, but that's not a big deal for me for personal use. It had an issue with sound, where it wouldn't always do all of the various balls. But my sons got me a new soundboard for Christmas this year and put it in, so now all the sounds work properly. And occasionally it was having trouble, like it would start up and then not. And I attribute that to, I had it connected into a daisy chain thing, and now now I only have one surge protector there, and there's a lot less things plugged in. So maybe once out of 10 times it doesn't start up the first time. You shut it off and turn it back on, it starts up. Other than that, it's it plays great, and I've enjoyed it a lot. Now, let me give, and the front door wasn't working, but that was like a nothing fix. So in here, let me show you the inside. This is a very old machine. It helps if I unlock it. I've got all the spare parts, the bulbs that I bought, and that's the old sound card. As you can see in there, it's a bit dusty, but it's a very old machine. This machine is from the 1980s, which was a time when I really enjoyed my pinball. And this was a machine I played a lot. The gameplay is very, very simple. Let me start it up. These 7 shots, shot 1 through 7, are the balls 1 through 7 or 9 through 15. The object is to drop these targets. They're worth $2,000 each, and each one gives you 7,000 bonus. Now, in addition to dropping them by hitting them, you can also drop 1 target or 2, depending on what your setting is, if you spell A, B, C, and D, which is a very common thing in older pinball machines. So if you spelled all 4 of these, 1 target would drop. Now that's the side pocket. Now once you got all those targets down, then you had to shoot for the 8-ball here in the corner pocket. And if you get the 8-ball down, you've completed 1 rack, and then Deluxe kicks in. Deluxe, which is why it's called 8-Ball Deluxe, is, you see how there's kind of, just behind the targets, there's those little orange circles? if you hit all 6 orange circles, you've spelled Deluxe, and then it begins another rack. If you get them all, then that's 56,000 in bonus, and that's basically saved for your next rack. If you get them all and do it a second time, you have 112,000 in the bank. If you do it a third time, you get special, which is a big deal when you're putting quarters into a machine. It's not as big a deal when you're just doing free play. I should also mention that this machine had one other feature, and that was this blue button that was added on by the person who owned it, and that's so I don't have to put in quarters. So as you can see, it's putting in 2 quarters at a time, but you can also put in quarters, and those slots work. I sometimes will throw in a quarter just for the fun of it. Now this ramp here, for extra ball, there's this ramp. The first shot will score 500 points for hitting that. That thing is actually worth 500. For each time you hit it subsequently, it's 10,000, then 30, then 50, then extra ball, then 70, then special. And if you make the special, it goes back to 70 and stays there. So that 70 is actually one of the most valuable shots you'll get in the game. There is no shot that will get you 70,000 points except for this one. So this is a very, if you can keep getting it up there, that'll give you a bunch of points. If you spell Deluxe, the first time you do it, you get 50,000 points, which is a big point thing. The second time, it'll give you special. Now up here, see these 2 arrows there? If you get both A and B, the arrow will light up, and it will jump depending on where you hit the bumper. The bumpers are all worth 1,000. And this is where it's interesting. Most games will have something that's worth like 10 points for a match. This game doesn't. What it has is these right here. These 2 little flaps right there. You see those little flaps right there? They're worth 30 points each. And so when you launch the ball, it'll hit into there a lot and knock them. And that's where you'll get your tens number in your point totals. Now the other thing about this, of course, if you drain down here, I believe it's 3,000 points, or special if you've gone through enough racks. And these slings are 500 points each. And there's one other feature here. There is a capture hole beyond the 8-ball. If you get it beyond the 8-ball and you drop it in the capture hole, you will collect your current bonus. So if you've got a rack or 2 down, that can actually be a good shot. The problem is, and this is the thing that can kill you, is if you, depending on how you hit that 8-ball, it's very easy for it to roll down there and draw straight in. So you want to give it a little bit of English when you get it there. Now the other shot is the bank shot, because if you've watched the pool show, you all love a bank shot, and that's where the bonus multipliers are. The 2-time multiplier is worth 5,000, 10,000, 15, 20,000. Bank shot itself is worth 50,000 if you get it once, and special if you get it twice. Now, believe it or not, in my entire life, I've only hit the bank shot once, which gives you an idea of how hard it is to get it there, mostly because when the ball drains down here, it's a very easy path to the ball drain. Now, one of the nice things about an old machine like this, and by the way, I'm not talking much about the art here. I haven't cleaned up the machine, although my son is planning on coming to do so. So this will shine a lot better once he cleans it. But the art here is very nice. That drawing is very, I mean, it's a pretty machine. And like I say, this machine is old. The person who sold it actually sold it, from my understanding, because he was buying a King Kong and needed some ready cash. And that's why he ended up taking 2,000, despite the faults that there were there. I mean, the machine is 20 today. It's 2000. It's 2026 now. This machine is over 40 years old, 40, 45 years old. So you're gonna have some faults unless you're constantly updating. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to put this right here, because I really can't. Unfortunately, I don't have a stand for it. So I'm going to adjust this, and I'm going to try and play a little bit so that you can see the field as I play and the score. So this is I'm going to be in a little bit of a handicap here, because I'm basically going to hold this camera with my legs while I try and play the game. Now, I'm not one who likes to, I'm not a tilter person. So, I'm not a guy who, I just don't believe in beating up on a machine and shaking it. So, I am more likely to drain a ball than to avoid a tilt. So, you know what I'll do instead? I'm just going to put this like this, and I'm going to put my hand here. And we'll do the best we can. I mean, I know that there's people who do this for a living and who have a much better thing. So there's the ball launching up top. We got the B. Okay. Now, you'll notice that that pinball is dark. That's actually an 8-ball pinball machine. It's made up like an 8-ball. That was a gift from my son when I got the machine. I only put in the ball recently because I didn't want to make any changes until I beat his high score. 2 days after this machine came in, he got a ridiculous high score, and it took me months to beat it. So, again, that's 500, and now the 10,000 is lit. We got the B. I see I need to replace the light on the A. So there's the balls there. I'm going to put in a second player. Now that's B. Now if I had hit the A, then that arrow up top would go on. So there's the ball going. So now, let's see, if I drop into A, nope. So it's into B again, so I don't get the 25,000 bonus. Now that side flipper can be dangerous. It's good when you're trying to hit that 8-ball, because you can get that nice shot. And it's also not bad to get an individual target here, but if you let it go too far down, it will easily throw you down this drain and you're toast. Now I have the stripes. You'll notice now the 9 through 15s are lit. I still have to replace that 7 balls link. But I'm going to put this between my legs this time. Okay, now the A is up top hit, so now we need the B to get the bonus. Now that drained without a bonus, so since I dropped no targets, there's no bonus. That's an easy way to lose points. So now I'm down to the last 2 balls, the 6 and 7, and I have A, C, and D still to get. So there's the A. Now you'll notice that yellow arrow just turned on. That's because now, if I drop this ball, if I can shoot this ball up top there, up that ramp, and it goes in where that yellow arrow is, that'll score 25,000, which is actually one of the highest point totals that you can get without making a big shot. So let's see if okay, I got it up there, and there's 25 right there. And I took my eye off the ball and drained it because I was playing with the camera. Silly. Okay, ball 2. I have it set for a 3-ball game. That's up there. Now B, so it's again A and B. And again, I lost it because I took my eyes off the ball. So we're going to put this back on the side because putting it over there blocked my view of the ball at the drain hole. Now, if I can hit, I didn't. Now, once I got that down, it would have been a shot for the 8-ball. So, there we go. That's 25,000. Now I'm holding it for that up ramp shot. Missed it. Uh-oh. Nice save. Double bonus. Now, once you get 1 or 2 racks down, those double bonus shots are very important. Okay, that's gone. So that's the game. Now I want to show you how it does certain things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and show you the shots closer. So first let me open this. The rack here. Take this down. Slide this over. Now we're going to, I want to show you here. So let's say I had launched it. There's 3,000 there. Now I'm going to drop the balls because I didn't get to the 8-ball. I want you to hear what it does. So I'm dropping these. Now you'll notice all of those were dropped. So that's 17,000. So now the 8-ball is the target. So I can't really reach the 8-ball with my hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down this camera for a second. Take out the glass all the way. And you can get a beautiful view of my ceiling while I do so. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just get my spare pinball. I forgot I I forgot, I had the pinball here because I find it very hard to get the glass back in. I have the pinball here, a spare one. I'm going to just throw it in there.
Nice shot.
Now you can go for Deluxe. Now I want to show you this, that I mentioned up there, that if you hit it into here now, I'm going to throw that in there. So now it scored the bonus again. So the 7,000 per hit bonus hits here. Now if you spell Deluxe, now when you're down to 1, it'll start telling you 1 more for Deluxe. Now notice the Deluxe that's flashing up top there. Now when I hit the last target, it adds a letter up here, which is actually one of the cooler features of the things. And now you'll notice it's 56,000 down here. That light is lit. Now again, the big points, once you've got a rack, the big points are these targets. Now it's asking you for the bank shot. The bank shot, this light is lit up 50,000.
Nice bank shot.
Now it gives you the bank shot up there. Now if I just let it drain, now I'm going to shoot the ball that's in there, because I don't want to have 2 balls in it and let it drain, and show you how many points you get from a 5-time bonus. So that'll, I'm not going to hit anything, I'm just let it drain. So you can see that's 250,000 points right there. Easy way to score big. So I highly recommend this game. Now this is an old game. In the old game, 700,000 is 1 credit. 1,000,000 is also a credit. 700,000 is a little bit tough to get. 1,000,000 is a little harder to get. Of course, I've been playing this game a lot. It doesn't go up for sale a lot. You can generally get 2,500 for it fairly easy. It's a very fun game. I do recommend it. So that's enough for me. Now I'm going to go play the game myself. This is Pete the Tech Guy, and I will see you at Pintastic April 9th through 12th in Marlborough, Massachusetts.